Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Andrea. My life has been crazy recently, but I finally have time again to make videos. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys how to protect your peace and your energy. Help yourself first before trying to help other people. So for a long time I was very invested in helping other people achieve their goals, helping other people resolve their problems, helping them, be the best version of themselves. I was kind of like a little personal therapist. I find helping other people very fulfilling, but after a while, it got a little overwhelming because when I needed help to resolve my own issues or, work towards my own goals, I had no time and energy. I don't think a lot of us realize that the amount of energy we have isn't infinite. There's only a couple hours in the day where you can really work hard towards your goals, or, if you're working towards resolving a very deep issue that you have with yourself, like a trauma, that takes a lot of time and energy. And when you're in a place like that, you can't afford to be helping other people, with their things. And it's funny because you can help a lot of people, but they might not always reciprocate that to you. I realized that it's not selfish to want to help yourself first. And in fact, you're in a better state to help other people once you've resolved your issues. Cut toxic people out of your life. So many of you are around people who are doing you no good. And I'm guilty of this myself too, okay? In my opinion, toxic people are probably the ones that drain your energy the most. And in my own words, a toxic person is someone whose behavior just harms you and causes you unnecessary problems and stress in your life. The toxic people that I've encountered in my life tend to have some things in common. Usually they have a very negative outlook on life. They have this victim mindset. They tend to be very manipulative, and they also have passive-aggressive behaviors. Toxic people tend to be the way they are because they have a lot of unresolved issues and traumas, but these are not your responsibility to deal with whatsoever. A lot of the time, these toxic people are those that are in your family, or maybe it's your partner. I used to have this particular family member who was very toxic. I no longer talk to them really. They would always find a way to just belittle me and bring me down for no reason really, just to make themselves feel better. And I felt like I wasn't allowed to cut ties with them because they were part of my family. And now that I'm older, I realized no, it doesn't matter if they're in your family or not, you should cut these people off. Be aware that the more you spend time with toxic people, the more drained you're gonna feel, and you will catch on to their negativity, okay? Toxicness is contagious, so please cut that toxic boyfriend, cut the toxic friend, the family member, whoever it is who is making you feel uneasy and not yourself. It's time for them to go. Limit your exposure to negativity. Everything you expose yourself to has an impact on you. So if you're constantly exposing yourself to negative things like, negative news or negative things on social media, or maybe you're always around negative people, how do you think you're gonna feel? This isn't supposed to be a hard question. Obviously, you're gonna feel very negative. A couple years back, I stopped watching the news. I stopped keeping up with all the issues going on around the world. And, some people might say it's our responsibility to keep up with a lot of these things. But honestly, it was coming at the cost of my mental health, and I was feeling terrible. Excessive exposure to negativity will make you feel anxious. It can make you feel depressed, and you'll start developing this very pessimistic and negative outlook on life. And while the world obviously is not perfect, it really isn't as bad as a lot of us think it is. Pay attention to your triggers. You guys know when you walk into a party or a certain environment and you just feel off, you think, something's wrong with you because everyone else is clearly having a lot of fun, and you know, you try to not think much of it, but all of a sudden you just feel very drained. Or maybe you hang out with a certain group of people and you just feel off. You end up going home feeling terrible, but you can't really pinpoint why. You guys, it's because you're going to places that are filled with bad energies, or maybe you're hanging out with people who just do not have a high vibration. You know, they maybe have a lot of issues going on. Who knows? If you're very in touch with yourself and your intuition, it's pretty easy to tell when an environment just feels off. I used to think this was all a lie, that whole like feeling other people's energies and stuff, but it's true. It's true, because anytime I've met somebody and I had a bad feeling about them, and you know, let's say I decided to give them another chance, like, oh well, they haven't really done anything, they've always been nice, I end up later finding out why I shouldn't have talked to them in the first place. By no means are you obligated to stay in a place where you feel off. Just because other people feel fine there doesn't mean you have to be there too. And you know, don't be like afraid to cut people off because their energy feels off. Learn to live unbothered by other people and their behaviors. I used to be the type of person that would feel the need to argue and correct other people when they were wrong, or you know, when they were rude to me in any way, especially if like they're clearly in the wrong and you know, they're just being disrespectful. And I think a lot of it wasn't even just because I wanted them to realize that they were wrong. I think a lot of it was just to satisfy my ego, you know, because a lot of times these people that we are engaging in arguments with or trying to correct are not worth our time. Stop feeling the need to prove other people wrong or to make them see your point of view. Rely on your own validation. Respect your boundaries. Do you guys realize that our boundaries are a huge part of who we are, but yet we constantly like let people violate them? In my opinion, a boundary is just like letting somebody know something that you're not comfortable with, or you let them know something you're not like willing to deal with, and you do that in an assertive manner. And like if they cross that boundary, there are consequences. And I think the best way I can think about boundaries is when it comes to like relationships. A lot of women, myself included, will say things to the person that we're dating like, oh, if you do this again or you cross my boundary again, I'm gonna leave this relationship. But yet we don't leave when we're disrespected, right? This is not protecting your boundary. Instead, we just blame them for crossing it, when really we should be leaving that relationship. Stop giving people second chances and stand strong with your boundaries, or else people will never respect you. Stop trying to change people. So for some reason, I used to think that I had the power to change broken men. I used to think that I could change the bad things in my parents. It took me too long to realize that people do not change, okay? The only way somebody can change is if they want to, and if it's for themselves. It doesn't matter how much you plead somebody to change, or you put in all this effort for them to like be this better person. Like, they will not change unless they want to. Like, a lot of times people get mad because they put in all this effort to maybe change somebody, or they're angry because this person has like potential. I know I used to feel that way, where like you want to fix them because there's just little tweaks that can make them be this great person, but somehow they're not able to see it. Like, stop putting that responsibility on yourself. I think sometimes we get in the way of people and their journeys. Like, maybe they're meant to be the way they are. There's something else God has planned for them, who knows? But if you're putting a bunch of energy to fix somebody, especially a man, like, you are wasting your time. Do regular check-ins with yourself. So a lot of us think this is annoying and not beneficial. Like, oh, I don't need to write in a journal like every day. I don't need to do this. And you don't necessarily need to write in a journal, but you really should be like reflecting on your life. Do you like the life you're living? How has life been feeling recently? In this modern world that we live in, we are exposed to so many people's like ideas, beliefs, and mentalities, and they're not ours. Like a lot of times we do agree with them, but other times we are taking on the mindsets and beliefs that other people have, just for like no reason other than copying them. And you're not gonna be your true self if you're just adopting other people's ideas. You're not gonna feel like you're really living life, and a lot of us don't even realize that we're doing this. Don't forget to trust your own beliefs, to have your own values, and be comfortable with knowing that you're not always gonna share the same thoughts and belief systems that other people have, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't have them. Limit overthinking and overanalyzing. So I say limit because it's impossible to stop overthinking, right? But a lot of times, you guys, we are diving way too deep into things that do not require like us thinking about. For instance, sometimes I'll get very like invested in text messages. I'll be like, what did this person really mean with that? Or maybe I hung out with somebody and I'm thinking about all their actions and how I can interpret them. I'm like usually thinking negative things, by the way. I think and ruminate a lot about the future and blah, 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 and just like I'm overthinking a bunch of stuff. And where does this lead me to? Nowhere. Because 9 times out of 10, a lot of these issues that I think might happen and stuff don't happen. The truth is, overthinking is a waste of time in most cases. It's just causing you a bunch of anxiety. You just gotta accept things for what they are. For instance, if somebody tells you, I don't know, that they like you, just believe it and go on about your day. Do not overanalyze details. I think us women tend to do that a lot, and it's because we want to protect ourselves, whatever the situation may be, right? But be careful and make sure this like overanalyzing and stuff is actually benefiting you instead of the other way around. Practicing gratitude is one of the best things you can do to keep your energy high, to keep it positive, and to be at peace with your life, honestly. Anytime I practice gratitude, I do this by praying every single morning and also before I go to bed. I think about all the blessings in my life, how fortunate I am to be alive, how fortunate I am to have like a roof over my head, to, you know, have food every single day, have my parents alive, have a job. Like, this is what it means to practice gratitude. At least for me, I do it through praying, being thankful for God and everything He provides. And you can practice gratitude in a lot of different ways. And I really think it's difficult to be on a high vibration and be at peace with yourself if you're not practicing gratitude. That is all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you guys got something out of this video. Let me know your thoughts below, and also comment down any other tips you have for protecting your peace and energy. We all have to help each other out, okay? And if you also have any like suggestions for like a video topic for another video, please comment those down below as well. And I can't wait to see you guys next time. Bye.